And China News Asia's Wang Yifeng again on why China is confident it can guarantee safety of athletes and spectators at the Games.
Well, earlier on, China has said it fought several plans by the Uyghurs to sabotage the Olympics, and each time they had managed to break up these cells before these so-called terrorists could carry out that plan. And these cells were said to be related to international terrorist organizations. Now, the recent attacks have caught China off guard and killed 16 police officers. But again, China reacted very quickly and very quickly reported that they have captured the attackers, whom they say are Islamic militants trying to wage a holy war aimed at destroying the Beijing Games. And one of the major threats actually comes from the East Turkestan Islamic Movement, which is a UN-listed terror group that reportedly operates in Xinjiang and Afghanistan. Chinese officials have said these terror activities are aimed at turning the year 2008 into a year of mourning for China. But of course, they're determined not to let that happen. And it has seemed to have been able to react fast to these threats and to show the world that they are indeed on top of their game.
U.S. President George W. Bush says he hopes China will strike a balance between maintaining security and respecting the spirit of the Olympic Games. His comments came ahead of his trip to Beijing. Mr. Bush described China as being overly sensitive over the threat of terrorism in the run-up to the Games' official opening on Friday. Human rights groups have charged that the pre-Olympic security drive was designed to silence dissent. And we spoke with Daniel Ranches, China News Asia's U.S. correspondent, who told us more about the significance of Mr. Bush's comments.
It does in some respects reflect White House policy in the sense that on the one hand the US is clearly wanting to make sure that China remains a strong ally of the United States. And I think during his administration he's made that point more than clear with things like the Strategic Economic Dialogue and the North Korea six-party talks, Beijing being fully on board on that issue. But on the other hand, you know, there are those pressures, those tensions about human rights, religious freedom, of that kind of thing. So I think, you know, on the whole, he's a kind of blunt, sort of plain-speaking guy, and those comments reflect that. But at the same time, I think he is being respectful in his own way of Beijing. I don't think he's meaning to make any kind of barbed comments about their handling of the Olympic Games.